is the Ridiculously Amazing Insurance Agent Podcast, hosted by me, Kelly Donahue-Piro. This show is for growing insurance agencies looking to maximize their biggest investment, their people. Listen to the top agency performance partners clients share their story on how they boosted their performance by executing a plan. Let's head to the show.
Hey everyone, very excited. Today is Christmas Eve if you're listening to this. If you're listening to this into January, just go in the way back time machine. I'm Kelly Donahue-Piro. I'm the president of Agency Performance Partners, and we're here with your mashup all on sales and how to have the sales mindset, which is a great way to think about things going into the new year. So we're going to go over our top topics this week, which include the abundance versus scarcity mindset, a zero excuse environment, and I'm actually going to throw in a little plot twist that I've learned recently after shooting these videos of zero waste environment. The best question you can ask your producers, and how many hours should producers be working? We're going to cover all these topics to go into killing it in 2022 for your producer team. So enjoy this videos as Heath and I tear apart the idea of what it means to be a successful producer and what kind of mindset you need to have going into the next year. Let's do it. All right, so here we are at the doorstep of 2022, and I love the idea of abundance versus scarcity. It actually came up, I think Ryan Hanley did something on this recently, and it was just good timing because we had just shot the video too. But the abundance mindset is, how you see opportunity. So scarcity is, I don't have enough leads. Leads aren't any good. Abundance mindset is, I'm going to go out there and hit my goal no matter what. I'm going to find abundance. And I think for a lot of the right producers, they have that abundance mindset. When the pipelines of the week, they put in the work. The wrong producers tend to blame game, and they tend to throw fingers, we like to say, and say, well, this and that and this. And in sales, you have to realize that one of the reasons that you are a salesperson is you have to ride the tide. There'll be times of uncertainty and there'll be times of great abundance. But the idea is that you bank on yourself. And that's why the 100% commission jobs are so great, is that you believe in yourself so much that you're willing to go without a guarantee. And I think if we can definitely get into the mindset a little bit on that, are you looking at abundance or scarcity? You'll find that the top producers live in an abundance mindset, albeit we probably have a tough day here or there. So those are the kind of things that we need to watch for. So watch our video on abundance versus scarcity as far as your producer's mindset. Hi, everybody. It's Kelly Donahue-Piro here for another 3-minute video series. And this week is all about producers and how do we go ahead and get the most out of them. And the first thing that I learned in sales was really about mindset. And I know some people think mindset's kind of woo-woo, but in all reality, it's a huge opportunity. And in my line of work, I see the abundance versus scarcity mindset all the time. So the abundance mindset is I get to go to networking events. I get to go make cold calls today. I get to go prospect today because we have such great services. That is the abundance mindset. The scarcity mindset is, the rates aren't great. We don't have enough leads. And it just sort of starts looking more like a victim mentality. And if you're in sales, you cannot have a victim mentality. You have to have a champion's mentality. The champion's mentality says that you will have obstacles. This will not be easy. Things are not always a gift that gets just to be given. And so you have to create your own opportunity. And once you start understanding that and not just looking like the phone's not ringing here, what do I do about it? And you realize that you have to have diversified lead sources, you have to take things into your own control, things do change pretty darn rapidly. So we want to encourage everybody, start by thinking about your mindset today. Is your producers thinking, or if you're a producer, are you thinking about abundance, about what you get to do, or are you thinking about what you have to do today? And if you're thinking about what you have to do, you have to realize that's not going to get you to probably hit your sales goals. It's very important if you're a producer, you have a very clear vision of what you want to make financially and what you're going to do with that money. So it keeps you motivated even when times are tough. This is sales. You're not going to always have grand slam months. Things are not always going to be easy. But the greatest sales professionals I know take a zero excuse mentality, which Heath will talk about a little bit later this week in our 3-minute videos. So everybody, take a deep breath, get your abundance mindset going, and you'll have a really great sales week. So this next one is something that I've adapted for the past few years, which is living in what we call a zero excuse environment. So a zero excuse environment means that no matter what changes, if the tide changes, we're going to get the job done. No excuses. And we live this out at APP in a few ways. When we have meetings, there's no excuses. You either did it or you didn't do it, and you tell us your plan. But excuses tend to take up a lot of time and get us emotional. I'm going to put a plot twist on here and adopt a second thing, which is zero waste environment. A zero waste environment, what that means is that we're not wasting leads, we're not wasting resources, we're not wasting marketing dollars. We're going to make everything and take it to the fullest extent. So when you live in a zero excuse environment, the world changes a lot. It has nothing to do with, we will all fail, and it's not about you go out and back and get whipped and, beaten up. That's not the point. The point is that you admit the fact that you didn't do what you were asked to do. There may have been other obstacles, but you have a plan going forward, because it's under the principle there's no sense in crying over that spilt milk. So watch our video on zero excuse environments and mindset.
Hey guys, Mayor Heath Sharon here. Guys, I'm really excited to be here. It is another installment of the 3-minute videos. Guys, I'm super pumped to be here today because we've got something we're talking about this week called the producer mindset. Kind of gives me a little PTSD, and I might twitch a little bit as I'm talking about this. I think back to my days as a producer. And I don't want to sit here and bang on producers. I loved my time as a producer. I love working with producers. They're so much fun. Anybody on a sales team, I absolutely love working with them. But there's one thing that plagues us all. One thing that plagued me as a producer a lot of times, that's excuses. And we all know the old famous saying about excuses. I won't go there for vulgarity's sake, but, excuses do not make sales. There'll always be a reason for you not to do something, whether it's a failing economy or the competitors are scary or, I've got to go pick up the kids from school. I got to go take the kids to school, doctor's appointments, whatever it may be, or something as simple as an email just came through that I didn't take care of. And I really think that if you've got your emails up all day long in front of you, that's a bad move. You need to schedule time for those. That's a whole other discussion for another day. Or you may have already heard that discussion from Kelly. I really think you've got to stay focused. A strong producer is always focused on their daily activities. I think getting to emails are very important. Pick up your kids from school is very important. Focus on your social media content. Following up with people, that's very important things. We got to have them in the right order and take those in time blocks or schedule those out, things like that. I think you also got to be mentally tough enough to work through those challenges and even, ask for help. That's something that it takes a lot of, people that have the pride issues and whatnot. You have to take the time to ask for help. If you're right in the middle of a project, you've got to get out and make those cold calls or those sales calls. And just something popped in, you got to take care of, or a claim happened, or this or that happened, or a vehicle change, or an endorsement, or a certificate needs to go out. Don't be afraid to ask someone on your team, hey, do you mind helping me with this? Or I need this done, or send them a task and, whatever your management system is or your CRM. I'd find a way to ask for help in those so you can, make sure you stay focused on the tasks that need to be done and be relentless in your pursuit of writing new business. I think it's to be a ridiculously amazing insurance agent. Sometimes it takes asking for help and being mentally strong, mentally tough, and not making those excuses that are so easy to make. I think we've got to stay focused and have the right mindset so that we can get through our day. You can have all the technology in the world. You can have all the technology and the smarts and all of the knowledge in your head. And you can know backwards and forwards everything there is to know about a policy. But if you're not mentally strong, you don't have the right mindset of a producer, then I don't think you can be successful like you want to be. I really hope this video's helped you. I hope this week of videos helps you. I really look forward to hanging out with you on the next one. Thanks again for being here, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
This next one is great, which is the best question to ask your producers. And we do this a lot, which is imagine that you are, you're sitting there and you find out that your child needs medication and you need $10,000 cash quickly. Buy your next payroll for commissions. What would you do differently today? And the idea is most producers don't operate underneath a stressful enough environment to do the hard work it takes to hit the goal. So many of us try to stay comfortable. Maybe we don't go to that networking event. We don't make that next follow-up call. We don't manage our time as a good steward of our resources. So instead, what ends up happening is we end up going ahead and playing it comfortable, and we never hit our true potential. So with your back up against the wall in a very difficult situation, what would you do? That's what we break down in this video.
All right, we're still on our producer weeks here this kind of week. And I love this because I think this is the best questions to ask your producers. And when we think about the best questions to ask your producers, I love taking a coaching mentality as opposed to saying, why aren't you selling? Questions lead to light bulb moments, aha moments, become more of a coach than anything else. And so when we think about the best questions to ask, the first question I always like to ask is, what's your plan for the week? Here at APP, we have a big saying, if you got to win the day, what are the top 3 biggest objectives you need to hit this day? And those kind of are your big rocks. If I do this, I've won the day. These other things may come and go. I'm going to try my best to get to them. But these 3 things are the things I have to do today. And when you put in the things you have to do, you find out that a lot of them are things you might not want to do. And that's okay. And if we do the things we don't want to do, get them out of the way, we tend to be very successful. So what is your plan for the week? The next thing that I like to ask producers is, what is the one thing that you're working on improving right now? In sales, we are never perfect. We're always going to be trying new things. And so I believe that every salesperson has to be working on one weakness. And even if your weakness is 10 times better than somebody else's weakness at it, it doesn't mean that you still can't getting sharper and better at things. The next question I like to ask producers is, how can I help you? How can I help you today? What's the biggest thing I can do? Can I go on a sales appointment with you? Can I do prospecting calls with you? Can we role play a deal? How can I help you today? And that just means that salespeople don't feel very alone. Sales can often feel a little lonely because you're out there by yourself and you've got to eat what you kill, and it can be a whole different mindset. So if you can ask those 3 questions, we like to say those are the best questions that you can ask your producers. And if you ask them, you're going to really put a coaching environment into place, which is what I think we all truly want. So enjoy those and check out our mashup as we go into this holiday season.
So y'all, back in October, we released a whole course on how to plan and execute, literally how to build your agency's plan for all of next year. But if it's December 19th and you have not done it yet, or it's anytime this week, let me tell you something last minute, people. You need to buy this course right now because it's 30% off. We're doing 30% off this course this week. You can binge it. You can do it between the holiday and New Year and come back into the new year strong with your team, having a whole opportunity to go ahead and see what your vision is, what your plan is. This week, 30% off plan and execute, one time only that you can buy it. Other than that, you're going to need to go ahead and look and say, you got to subscribe to get that course. But we're doing 25% off our process packs, most of our swag, and our subscription to our online school where you get this course. So you can choose, buy it outright once, have it forever, or monthly subscription to all of our courses. Your choice, but don't delay. We have 1 week only where you're available to buy this course outright. So what are you waiting for? Your agency needs a plan next year. Take advantage of it today. The last mindset I want to go through is really hours worked. And I think this one is very complicated, right? We live in a little bit of a different world. And I probably come from a much older school mentality of I can get whatever I want as long as I work for it. And in today's world, there's a lot of balancing that's happening between children and sporting events and, self-care, all the things that kind of come up. But I think that the idea has to be is that there will be some months where you don't have to work as hard and some months that you do. And that's really the difference of being in a producer role is it's much more fluid. It's not as constructual. And so when we think about hours worked, we have to be saying, I don't think many agencies care how many hours you work as long as you're hitting your sales goal. But if you're not, you need to make some amendments. And we cover that in this video.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's the mayor here. He's sharing. It's a great day today for another 3-minute video. I'm so glad that you are here. Be proud of yourself for hanging out today because it shows that you care and you want to grow in your craft. Guys, this week we are talking about the producer mindset. And I love it. I was a producer for a long time and I love those days. I love working with producers as well. And one of the things that a lot of producers have to deal with, whether good or bad, is time management. And I know there's courses that Kelly does on that. But I want to talk about, the top producers out there that I've seen, they really take the time and they make the time to be successful. And whether it's taking that extra few minutes to go over coverages or to learn this or that, or to educate their client on something, or they take the extra time to do a few couple of things in their right to make sure they land the deal, producers make that time. That success is earned. You're not going to get it done from 9 to 5 all the time. You're not going to be able to get it done in the time frame you have at the office. Sometimes you may have to work a little overtime. You may have to spend some extra time outside the office doing a few things. But, as you're building your book, sometimes you may have to do those things, and we all know that. But what I would say is don't use time as an excuse. Sometimes we can do that to say, I don't have enough time. I'm so productive on this, or I've got this going on. Sometimes you have to work smarter, not harder. And sometimes you have to, find a time, to, get rid of those distractions. And whether that's, putting your emails on another screen and minimizing them, or, putting your phone on do not disturb. Put your phone on do not disturb for, a couple hours while you're working on some things. If you've got a TV in your office, make sure it's turned off. Do different things like that. Get rid of those distractions in your life. Or if you're like me and you're big into fantasy sports, make sure that you turn off those notifications and things like that. Also, you might need to prioritize and focus on what's most important task, and that's selling. So sometimes you just have to prioritize your time to say, okay, from this time to this time, I'm going to focus on this. From this time to this time, I'm going to focus on that. Or you might just schedule it out in your calendar somehow or another. I just want to make sure that to have a great producer mindset, you've got to make sure you're making the best use of your time. We all have the same amount of time every single day. That's 24 hours. How you use it is up to you. And I think in order to be productive, sometimes you have to understand it may take a little extra time. If you want to earn that success, sometimes you may have to do it outside those normal business hours. Don't use time as an excuse, and try to be as productive as possible. Work smarter, not harder. Ladies and gentlemen, I really hope that this video has helped you out. If it has, make sure you like and subscribe. Send it to a friend, whatever it might be. I look forward to hanging out with you on the next one.
Well, on behalf of our entire team at APP, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And right when you come back from the break of New Year's and everything else, we're going to be launching our next course, which is How to Hire, which I know is on many agencies' minds. So we're breaking down some new and creative strategies, really walking you through powerful job postings, how to make it work, what interview questions to ask. It's literally just like an MBA in hiring, which I think we all need. So watch for that. But until then, we wish you all a very happy Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. And then go ahead and think about having a wonderful new year. We'll see you all very soon.